All right. We are live. All right, I can hear myself. Let's go. All right, so I wanted to give kind of like a little bit of a talking about how my initial thoughts after Detroit Lions minicamp and after Detroit Lions talk, and also OTAs. What's what is up, dead fat man, fan man? Sorry, um, doing pretty good, man. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts on OTAs and minicamp, and yeah. So far, the players that sounded like they did good to me were Will Harris, Javon McKinley, Victor Bolden, Quintus Cephas, Jeff Okuda, T.J. Hawkinson, Jared Goff, DeAndre Swift, and Jamal Williams. Those are kind of like the big guys that I heard that did well, and I'm very glad to hear that. Especially Quintus Cephas, it sounds like he dominated all of OTAs in camp, along with Victor Bolden. So very happy about that. My initial thoughts is I think Quintus Cephas is on verge of being the Lions' number 3 receiver, ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown. After considering the fact, I think it just sounded like Cephas was the main star of the show. So that's just kind of my little thoughts. And then in terms of Okuda, I love that Okuda was doing everything right. From what it sounds like, he was predicting plays like Tony Romo would be for our broadcasting. He's changed his number. It sounds like he's being more technically sound. I heard he made a couple pass breakup. So I'm very excited to see what that happens. And Will Harris, he had a pass deflection. I believe he also picked off Jared Goff. So I'm absolutely pumped up about it. So I guess now you guys can ask your questions and I'll answer them. I'll talk football with you. I had like 4 viewers and I went down to 1. That's funny. Just me and you, but yeah, I think that's what it is. Oh, now I got 3. But yeah, I was just kind of checking on everything. I got an important text. I had to not important text, but notification. I have a little camp I'm going to next week, so you're excited about these rookie D linemen. I am very much as well, especially in Lee McNeil. That guy was just absolutely fantastic. The guy, the guy literally got nearly double teamed every single play. I believe Lee McNeil himself even said that he was double teamed every single play. So that was pretty dang exciting, and I loved to hear about that. And the fact is, that means the guy's going to be able, if he does anything related to college, it means he can take double teams, which means less players on Romeo. And so I like to hear about that, and that means if Romeo can get more sacks, then that's just going to be more crazy. That means more pressure, more stuff, and that means also more opportunity for Levi Onwuzurike and Trey Flowers and all the other players. So I'm very excited, and I think we're going to have a way more improved pass rush. Hard for linemen to show up at OTAs. You know, it's just hard because honestly, all you can say is technique. Because I believe they had a couple 7-on-7 drills, but I don't really think they had anything that could really make a D lineman flash. All you could really say is your D lineman saying we're working together and working hard. Oh, yeah, I commented on that, yeah. Well, it was absolute facts. I don't get why 49ers fans think they have that game in the bag. There really is no logic to it. I could understand if it was like the 2019 49ers, but the 49ers have lost so many players that I don't think from that 2019 team that you can't just automatically assume they're going to be good. They lost Matt Breida. They lost Tevin Coleman, who both were big parts in their run game with Raheem Mostert, and then their D line, which was a big part of the reason why they had success, is different now. They traded away DeForest Buckner. Eric Armstead proved he was not that big of a successful player. Javon Kinlaw did not replace him well last season, and DJ Jones is a solid player. And then their secondary, the only good player on that little cornerback core is Jason Verrett. I don't think that it's going to be that good anymore. And they even lost Robert Saleh, their defensive coordinator. I think we have a real opportunity to beat them, and to think that they just guaranteed is just ridiculous. I could get it if Patricia was here, but we have a whole new regime. What's up, Omar? How are you doing, man? Yeah, like I don't know, Don, you actually did a pretty solid job. Also, I do want to say that for your Grant Cohn video, that was definitely one of the more like pretty good ones. And I don't know, I just find it funny because most of the Niners fans could not argue against you. They just said, "Ha, you're the Lions. You always suck." So it was a pretty big Detroit versus every dang buddy, like you say, and it's just an easy mentality. I mean, just it's just so funny to think that they got that secured when really the last time we even faced they won because Tracy Walker had a pass interference play. They don't have a guaranteed win in my mind when they don't really have anything superior other than linebacker, in my opinion. And linebacker and safety are the only positions I think the Niners are really much better on. I think we got the better quarterback. Jared Goff's best season is better than Jimmy Garoppolo, and I've already explained why I think Jared Goff would be amazing in like 2 different videos. He's a fantastic player that was just held back by bad line play and inconsistent play calling by Sean McVay. Um, our run game, it should be fantastic. DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams, both players who got over 4 yards per carry last season, and are both very good pass catchers. In my opinion, I think DeAndre Swift is more talented than Raheem Mostert. I don't understand anything about it. Our line is going to be just as good even at the Niners' best. Our Lions should be as good as their O line. That yes, they have Trent Williams, but the rest of their O line does have some question marks. Other than maybe Lincoln Tomlinson, but Tomlinson did struggle, and I just don't think that the Niners should just give themselves the easy pass like they were in that comment section. So I think you absolutely destroyed them, man. Did you see the Lions Inside the Den episode 3? Yes, I did. It's just hilarious because that was just such a different atmosphere than ones in Patricia. And Patricia was always so strict and professional. But in this episode, like they were explaining the Sheila, what they want, everyone's getting excited, pumped up about not just the Penei Sewell pick, but every pick. And the best thing is, they said we want this guy, and they would get that guy. They were like, okay, we want Penei, they got Penei. We want Levi, we got Levi. They even said in the draft room, I'm leaning towards the Washington player. Boom, they got him. Round 3, Lee McNeil's like, all right, we want a Liam. Boom, they got a Liam. It was just great, and there was so much communication, so much positivity for these guys. I was kind of worried that there might have been like a miscommunication, but that just showed they were perfectly communicating, and they were all happy with each other. They were working together. It was just great. I really loved seeing what they had. Thanks, Don. Thanks. Definitely good honor to get from one of the better Lions fans on YouTube. I've seen you be probably one of the better Lions fighters in our in the comment sections since the days Dion had only 100 subscribers. So I agree. It's a lot different than when her mom was the owner. She was asking questions. She asked, "So why are we taking a lean with these receivers?" And Dorsey said, "We still got the USC guy," which ironically was on Monroe, and then they were able to get him in the 4th round. But showed that she truly cares about this team compared to other regimes, where most people say the reason the Ford regime sucked was because they didn't have anyone that like cared, and they were only here for money. But Sheila shows differently, and that's what I like about her. And so it's just something you can't really say is not that Sheila's not having. She's really trying this time, and we got an actual regime that's actually trying and working together, and it's great. I love it. They were getting the players they wanted. Everyone was pumped. They were communicating, saying, "We're getting this. What about this? What about this? How about this? Okay, if this." It was great, and they were happy. Like they were hugging, they were clapping, they were high fiving. I mean, wasn't really a thing during the Patricia and Caldwell era. It definitely was this time. Steve-O. That's true. That's true. Honestly, I would say the people I see the most in like Detroit Lions comment sections are you, Steve-O, Don, and there's another person that's always commenting on everything. I think his name's like Caleb Davis, I think. Those three are like the big like guys I see in like almost every YouTube comment. Oh, and Hungry Panda Studios. That's another guy that I see a lot. Yeah, you guys are all like crazy good Lions fans, and I love it. You guys are all. And it's kind of funny because a lot of people also know each other. For example, Don just said, well, "I'm sorry, I've just seen you in my comment section. So I've seen you in a couple. You go to not Dion's comment sections a couple times. It's just these two I've actually talked to Steve O at my old account, Spencer Waddell, like 1,000 times. So I'm actually familiar with Steve O. Don Burr I saw in a lot of Dion's comments, but you're kind of newer, but that I've seen. I mean, you were the first one in my stream, so technically you get the gold medal belongs to you, sir. So I'll give you that. Yeah, it's just amazing. It showed communication. It showed they got their guys they wanted. It showed that they truly had a plan, and I loved it. Yeah. Watch Don Burr's Grant Cohn video. It's actually a pretty solid video. I actually was really enjoying it. He brought up some good points, and it was honestly kind of a blast of a video. Rams House should be coming on the show on Wednesday. Me and him have talked about it, along with John Kapler. I'm gonna have to talk to my guardians or my parents on if they can come. Apparently, they have a little rule, so I do have that. But Rams House and John Kapler should be coming Wednesday. It's going to be our way of celebrating me getting 100 subscribers and us just talking football. And I'll definitely be kind of putting their channel on there. Me too at Steve-O. What? Me too at Steve. Oh yeah, okay. He's okay. Steve, I watched him three times already. What, dude? Honestly, it's just crazy when you like how much I had to rewatch it twice too. It was crazy. Oh, glad that's where you found me, man. It was just such a blast and honor to go on Luke's channel, man. Like that definitely kind of like blew up my channel. I believe I had like 60 subscribers before I went on Luke's. So that was yeah. I don't know. It was just such a blast, man. Like to be on there. I mean, it was kind of fun because he was being my hype man as well. But it was just an honor to go on his show and blast up there, and all you guys in the chat were great at that time. So it was just a blast. Also, I believe you asked me a question about Hard Knocks earlier that I was not able to answer earlier, but we cannot actually qualify for Hard Knocks, BD, because we need to have a coach not be a first-year coach. It has to be after that, so we can't qualify for Hard Knocks. So there's your answer for that one. You do that, Steve-O. Good man. What up, Go Lions? Welcome to the den. I think I remember you telling me about that. Yeah. Also, I love the profile picture of Rick and Morty. So that's an interesting show. Honestly, it really was, man. It was just a great video. It just showed everything that you wanted to see, and I don't think it could have gotten any better. Oh yeah, next year's going to be a great offseason. I'm very excited, especially if Jared Goff does pan out like I'm thinking he will. That's just going to be insane, especially if the team continues to draft well. It's just going to be insane because if Goff works out, we don't have if we are like bad like people are saying we're going to be, but Goff still plays well, we could get like a top 5 pick and get like one of the best players in the draft and then get a great draft the rest. So I'm very excited about it. And we have free agency. So for a lot of our weaknesses that are like major, we shouldn't rely on rookies on. Bam, free agent. I'm very happy about it. Yeah. Oh, that's a prediction, man. That's a prediction. I'll give you that, man. I will say I'm not a huge fan of Hard Knocks. I'm not a big one on that, so I don't really per se care much about it, but that's a big prediction for the playoff part, so I love that. Oh yeah, he can, dude. He can be a great player. I mean, sorry, not a great player, but a great GM with that, and just nail that with 11 picks. I don't know if you'd have the type of success. For example, this draft 2021, I firmly believe is the best line draft we've had in a while. So I don't know. I just think it was a great move because I think just about every player other than Jamar Jefferson could have an impact and be a true starter. So it doesn't work like that. It means this guy's first hired, and technically, Omar Campbell was not an actual head coach; he was an interim head coach. So it's kind of like saying Darrell Bevel was a head coach. Yes, technically he was, but he doesn't technically actually qualify as a head coach. Don't you dare pull a Raiders reach and the reach around Raiders move, eh? Oh yeah. I don't think that's something you have to worry about either. That's just something that Holmes did not do this draft. He went ahead and he got players that weren't reaches. He didn't get a Tavai this draft. He didn't get a Leatherwood. In fact, I would argue he did an exact opposite. He got steals in every draft. I had Afitu as a early second rounder and as a first rounder. Penei Sewell was supposed to go to the Bengals or the Dolphins, so he got a steal there. Levi Onwuzurike was Chris Sims' number one, and a lot of people had as a first round draft pick. Lee McNeil was supposed to be a second rounder. I had him as a guaranteed second rounder, so when he fell there, that was a steal. Amon-Ra St. Brown, to many people, was a second and third. I had him as an in between. It's just hilarious. I mean, even Derek Barnes was the only player that kind of fell exactly where I thought he would go. But I was just kind of surprised we traded up for him. But that was still a great pick. And Jamar Jefferson was supposed to be a fifth to fourth rounder. So we got the steals in this. We got players that were supposed to go earlier instead of going for the players that were no, that was a complete reach. We had of Tavai. Even Kenny Golladay was supposed to be a fourth round draft pick. So it's just crazy, man. I think Holmes is not going to be that stupid. Not of how smart they're playing and how involved she is getting. Prediction about the line. So I actually can explain that one to you, Steve-O. It's the lack of experience that this team has. We got a lot of players in 1 years. And the thing that you also got to remember is that we cannot account for is injuries. So, for example, if our team was 100% healthy, I could honestly see us as a playoff team, especially if Aaron Rodgers does not play, especially because that's not what he's looking like. Tyrell Williams could easily get hurt. Rashad Perriman could easily get hurt. Goff could get hurt. There's kind of those players that could get hurt that you have to look out for and account for. So this team at 100% can, but you don't know if they will. We got some stuff that we still need to work on. Our safety core is very questionable. While Will Harris has done a great job in OTAs and camp, he has struggled in actual games. Derek Barnes is unproven at the fourth round draft pick. Jamie Collins, like Luke G says, has been kind of lazy and hasn't done good outside the Patriots system. Jeff Okudah had a terrible rookie year. Quentin Dunbar kind of struggled last year due to injury. So there's a lot of question marks, and I can understand why people do. I personally have us at 8-9 because I think there's some other stuff that we need as well. But I think we can be a competitive team. Any person that tells you we're going to be anything less than 5 wins does not know anything about this organization nor the team. What I love most about it is that players want to be there. Exactly. Penei Sewell was excited. Levi Onwuzurike was excited. I would probably say the person who seemed the least excited was Aleem McNeil, but he seemed chill, happy about it. He seemed I'm grateful about this, man. I loved it. I agree. No, I agree. And I see if people are real stuck in Patrick. Yeah, that's the thing. People really think that this is somehow, since we sucked in the past, it means we're going to always suck. I don't really understand that. The Browns were just as bad an organization as we were, if not worse than us. Yet they went to the playoffs last year and one of the better teams in football. It's very possible to have that. You went full blown BPA. Don, you should be a Lions fan. It's tough. Nah, being a Lions fan's great. Yo, what up, Bo? Glad to have you in the den, man. How many starters? It depends on how well our current players have. So it all depends on next year. But let's see. So we have 2 first-rounders next year, a second-rounder, and a third. So in my opinion, that is guaranteed 4 starters, or at least 3 starters and one guy who's a heavy rotation. The rest can be questionable, considering the fact we have 11 draft picks, but I do think the team could have some pieces. I think next year's draft is going to be heavily focused on getting a replacement for Michael Brockers, getting a replacement for Jamie Collins and the safety core, and maybe the wideouts, depending on what the free agency does. Did you guys catch someone saying Justin Jefferson had the highest second speed for the RBs with his GPS data? I thought it was Tate didn't mention. I agree. Justin Jefferson plays a lot faster. I thought he would run a 4.4. I didn't. I was very surprised that he ran. I think it was a 4.54 in his pro day. There's a difference between actual game speed and actual play speed. And a big example of that was, I believe it was Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald had a very slow 40 time, yet he was a lot faster, and people looked. Antonio Brown ran an extremely fast 40 time, and I was absolutely bewildered by the fact that he was slow. Robert Woods himself was also same thing. But I don't see him as being full blown trash with the best line in football. I absolutely agree. Anyone that says that we're going to lose below 5 games is just going to be absolutely surprising. My personal prediction is we have the 14th ranked offense and the 19th to 20th ranked defense. I think we have some question marks in both. That's going to happen, and also just the fact that we have some rookie stuff. We have a rookie defensive coordinator for a rookie head coach, and some relying on a rookie defensive tackle, rookie defensive end, rookie 3 tech, and Levi O. So we got some stuff that we need to address in that defense, and also just going to take time with experience. But I do not think we're going to be trash. I've already had my statistical prediction videos. I think we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. In fact, I think we could be I honestly think we could be like the 16th ranked defense next season. I think we can be a fantastic team. And I think we could push off for playoffs. I think we could be the best line, honestly. If Penei Sewell is who people say he's supposed to be, I think he could be. The only question mark on our line is Big V. And if Big V plays bad, we still have Logan Stenberg. And watch Dion's video. Dion, sorry, I don't know why I want to keep calling him Dion. Dion's video. The man, it really is got the nickname Mr. Nasty for a reason. He was fantastic in college, and I'm going to hopefully be doing a video on Big V. It's been kind of challenging getting that going. But on why I still believe in him, watch some DeAndre Swift tape on him, and watch even a bit of Matthew Stafford's tape. You can see plays where Big V does a good job. Big V's probably best games. One of his better games, I would say, is the New Orleans Saints game, and that was a game where I kind of noticed he was pretty good. That is very true. That is just true. It's also just game pace. It's kind of like when you get chased by something, you run faster than you normally would. It's not because you don't have the effort, but just adrenaline. Adrenaline makes people faster. Yes, we do. I especially like Javon McKinley. I also really like Tommy Kramer. I also like Drake Jackson. And I'm also a pretty big fan of that Amos guy. I thought he was pretty dang good. I thought AJ Parker would do more, but I do have my concerns about AJ Parker. We do? Ooh. That's pretty exciting. I love to hear about that. Yeah, exactly. Aleem, I don't think is much of the energetic type like Levi O and Jamal Williams are, but he seemed happy to be here, especially when you actually watched the interview. It was just his draft reaction was just like, it's chill. Like you could tell he was happy and grateful, but definitely more like, yeah. It's more. There's people gotta realize that there's in the moment like game speed that you have. There's adrenaline. Adrenaline goes faster. Think of it like when you're getting chased by like your dad when you were younger, when you're playing tag. You're gonna run faster when that's happening. When I was younger, I was walking to a friend's house, and the neighbor's dogs got out. Well, my sister tricked me that my neighbor's dogs got out, and so I just ran super fast, and apparently dust was coming out from the ground which I was walking on, running on, and so I was a lot faster than I normally would have been at that age. So it's just adrenaline that happens in the moment. Yeah, yeah, you're welcome. Brockers is not an elite player. I think people got to realize this. I mean, he's a great player and I love him, but he is 30 years old. I don't know how much more of an impact he'll have, especially because he was never a dominant player to begin with. He was a great player, but never a dominant one. I think personally we need to get ready for replacement for blockers in the future. I think that we could upgrade at the 5 tech position in the future. I don't think he's someone that we should just signal this guy as the only player that has to be there. I thought he said they went with his game plan instead of his pro day because his numbers did not match what they saw. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. He says he had like a stopwatch that said his game speed was actually faster. Oh yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he does. That's just it's perfectly obvious at this point, Don, that that's his ability to do. He motivates players. It's what he did in Miami. He got players to do stuff. He spoke and they listened. They said they would run through a wall for him in Miami. Jamal Williams came because he thought Campbell was a good coach. People are coming here because they want to play with Campbell. Coaches are coming here because of Campbell. Dave Phipp left Philly to come to Detroit. Deuce Staley left Philly to come to Detroit. Aaron Glenn left New Orleans to come to Detroit. It's definitely a thing that's been popping up, and it's exciting. Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. If you don't stop him, I'm not stopping him from saying that. Yeah, okay, hit the like button, guys. I think the Colts had the best line. Maybe. We'll see. Eric Fisher had that injury. That's why I said we could. I don't think we will, but I think we could definitely have the best line. I mean, not even the Colts have a complete line, and I still think Big V can be a good player. He improved a lot more at guard, but even then, I think Stenberg is going to be a pretty fantastic player if he gets the opportunity to play. I think our D line will surprise people. The linebacker core, yeah, there is some concerns with the linebacker core. Jamie Collins has had issues with effort, and also just playing well outside the New England system. But he's played well regardless in this time here, and I think he'll improve. Another player is Derek Barnes and Jelani Tavai. Tavai's look pretty good, and apparently he's been impressing in camp. And I think he could improve and be a good run stuffer and slightly improve himself in coverage. I think Derek Barnes is going to be a great player. His run stuffing abilities, I believe he got 9 tackles per game, and he would have reached 100 had he played had it been a normal college season. So he's a fantastic player, but my biggest issue is our coverage ability, and I don't know. We'll see what happens to that linebacker core. There's only one linebacker who I'm confident in coverage. Well, 2. Sean Dyan Hamilton and Jamie Collins are the only players I'm really confident in coverage. That's only because Jamie Collins is one of the best coverage linebacker in football, and Sean Dyan Hamilton has done good in coverage drills so far. I agree, 7 to 9 wins. Perfect. That's the mentality. Do not expect too much out of this regime year one like people did Patricia and Caldwell. I'm hoping our corners will surprise people. I do. I think they will. Quinton Dunbar was a top 5 corner in 2019. There's a reason everybody wanted Quinton Dunbar. He was a fantastic player. Now he's coming here perfectly and healthy, and now he's reuniting with some good secondary coaches in a scheme that fits him. He's going with Aubrey Pleasant and Aaron Glenn, guys who are known to make corners and any player in the secondary better. That will lead to success. Now you also got Amani Oruwariye, which I've already kind of talked about why I think he's a super underrated player, but his stats are better than Marcus Peters, Darius Slay, Byron Jones, and I believe Richard Sherman was the other player I mentioned. And I think there's a couple other players that I haven't shown in my videos, but he's gotten some good stuff. And then we also still got Jeff Okudah, who I think he has some promise. His New Orleans Saints game and his Cardinals games were pretty solid. And people got to remember that he was playing with the worst regime in like football. And he was also playing injured. He had some limited offseason because of injury. And he also didn't have a preseason. He didn't have any real experience going into this year, and he only played 9 games. He obviously was very inexperienced. Yeah, I agree with that. I can get behind that, but you have to. It's a lot of pressure to put on Derek Barnes or Tavai. Yeah, I think it could. He could play well. He can do good. I don't know if he'd be worth his contract, but I think he can play well. What? Wait, what article said that? Who said that he's? Who said Jonah Jackson is our weak point? over Big V. It's one thing to say that Jonah Jackson isn't good, because I can see that if you're like a casual, but to say he's the weak point over Big V is what? That's ridiculous. No, Jonah Jackson was one of our better O linemen this last season. He had times where he looked like a vet. He allowed 5 sacks, yes, but his pressure numbers were down, and he was good in the run game, just like how he was at Rutgers and Ohio State. He had good games. I don't understand how you could ever say that. Uh, he made all rookie teams. How even with guys like Michael Lenu in football, I don't get how you could ever say Jonah Jackson's a weak point when he was making all rookie teams and played well at you. In my opinion, you only have to look at the sack numbers and say, "Oh, he's the weak point." That is just stupid. That's very true. I can completely agree with you on that one, Funky Lions fan. The thing is, Big V struggled at tackle. I believe he allowed, what was it? Was it 8 sacks in that Super Bowl run? I believe he allowed 8 sacks a Super Bowl run. 20. No, it was 2017. Yeah, he allowed 9 sacks on 828 snaps. He definitely was not that good of a tackle. I don't understand why people were. I understand why Quinn was so invested into him. Yeah, solid, not great. Exactly. But my thing is, I think he will improve. Hank, he was a rookie. I think people got to realize that Jackson is a good player. I mean, sure, he was not an elite one, but he is good. So, what are my top 5 offensive lines? So, I'm going to go off what I think they are currently. I'm not going to give Lions number 1, but I do think there's potential for the Lions to get there. Number 1, I'm going Cleveland. Cleveland was ranked 1 PFF and also mine. You got Jack Conklin, and another year Jedrick Wills, and you got Wyatt Teller, and you have JC Treader. That's just an automatic, like at least top 3. Number 2 is Indianapolis. I do have my concerns of Eric Fisher playing well after injury, but I think he will be fine. And you also got yourself Quentin Nelson in that group, and I think Braden Smith. They they got themselves some pretty good players, and I'm pretty excited to see what they can do. I also don't think we can account for all these players that have chips on their shoulders and have something true. As that is very true. Players like Tyra Williams or Rashad Perriman are definitely players to look out for. Maybe even Tracy Walker, who wants to prove that the reason he struggled last year was because of Matt Patricia and not because he's a bad player. He has a problem going rogue too. Yes, Jamie Collins? I don't know who has a problem going rogue. But I also think the Cowboys are the next guys. I think it goes Browns, Colts, a healthy Cowboys line. I think people forget how good that goes. 4 is the Lions. 5 is New England. Actually, no. Actually, I'm going to go 4 is Kansas City, then 5 is Kansas City. No. 4 is Kansas City, then 5 is Detroit. And that's my prediction. 1 Colts, 2 Saints, 3 Browns, 4 Chiefs, 5 Lions. I can respect that, honestly. I do like the Saints line, but I don't know how well they will do. I think considering the fact that they allowed Taysom to get sacked so many times, which caused fumbles, is a bit of concern. We'll see how they do. They do have Ryan Ramczyk, who's honestly a top 3 tackle in football, so that's a pretty good argument there. Exactly. Patricia was just awful. I don't know what he thought, since he knew everything about X and O's, that he would be a good head coach, and that was all he needed. So, what up, Warrior? I'm doing quite good sir. Okay. Ooh, Titans. That's bold. That's a bold one. I don't know about that one, but I like it. Yeah. Agreed. Thank you. I disagree. The reason I think people forget that is the whole line was injured last year. Maybe it will, but people forget that this team is fantastic and has some great players. Reeves, good. That's very true. The Bucks do have a good line. Okay. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna redo my own line as well. I'm gonna go Browns, Colts, Chiefs, Bucks, and Lions. That's my own line group. I don't know. The Bucks had a pretty good line play from Donovan Smith and Tristan Wirfs, and their interior all did good. I think it was Eli Marpet is a really good guard and is really underrated. But I could see it. I mean, Brady's an old man, barely got sacked, so I don't know about. I don't know how the defense can per se really help the old line. I mean, maybe other than not putting him out every play, but Tom Brady was only sacked 21 times last season. That's pretty dang impressive as a pass protection unit for a guy who was like, what is he? Isn't he 43 years old? 43 years old. I think that's pretty impressive stuff. Very true. Very true. Oh wow, you have the Colts and the Bucks that high. That's impressive. That's impressive. I don't know. I think I'd give the Browns over the Saints on that list. And I think it has to be Browns for the top two because the Browns were ranked number one in Pro Football Focus, and they counted the pressure and sacks and run blocking, and they all had amazing play. The Browns also have Wyatt Teller, who was a fantastic guard last season, and they have Jack Conklin, and Jedrick Wills will develop even more next season. I really think they're going to be fantastic next season. That defense was phenomenal. Oh, it was amazing for them, especially in that Super Bowl game, man. Like the Bucks defense just surprised everyone. My biggest thing is I actually thought their offense was going to be elite, but I did not see the Bucks defense being good that year. It was just kind of funny to me because I didn't see it coming, and I don't know. It was kind of fun seeing the Bucks do good. Interesting. Welcome to the den, Dr. Detroit. How are you doing, good sir? And what interests you? The online rankings? But I don't know. I think the big thing people got to remember with our online is we're not guaranteed top five. We got to remember Big V has struggled last year, and that could be a big thing that hurts Sewell is not having a good guard help. And when he's switching out to a position that is symmetrically different, it's like playing number one corner but then moving to slot or safety to strong safety. Sorry, free safety to strong safety. Yeah, it's just different. Online ranks. What's your online ranks, Dr. Detroit? I'm curious to know. But I don't know. I think you have to have the Browns, Colts, and Chiefs at least in that top three. The Chiefs got themselves a really revamped line this offseason. They brought in Orlando Brown. It's this ESPN thing would load for me. I got to remember who it all is because I just remember being really impressed with that line additions they had. Come on, you can do it, internet. Kansas City Chiefs. Come on, I believe in you. There we go. It's working for me, ladies and gents. Yeah, they got Orlando Brown. They signed Austin Blythe. They brought in Joe Thuney. We'll see how Mike Remmers and Laurent do, but they also have Kyle Long added into their team, and they still have the draft pick of Louis Nyang. I think that they are going to be a good team. I agree. We don't know what we have in a rookie is starting at a new spot, and Big V is questions, and we have to see Jackson repeat. Decker just stay steady. So I hope you're right. My big thing is I think Decker kind of proved he was steady. People got to remember in 2019, like the second half, Decker was ranked as a top 5 left tackle in that play. And then he repeated that play and did even better, arguably, in 2020. I think Decker will be fine. Ragnow, of course, will be fine. Those two are guaranteed goods. Jackson, I don't think we'll see a regression. I think one of the bigger reasons why Jackson struggled last year at all was because he was just a rookie. And I think he'll develop under Hank Friley. And I think another part you have to forget is also the rest of the line wasn't as good. You have Tyrell Crosby, and you have to rely on a 297 former defensive end as well, rotating in at swing tackle with Crosby. And then you also had Big V struggling. So I think that kind of didn't help the line much. Yeah, I agree. I'm not expecting too much. I'm not saying Jackson's going to become Quentin Nelson or even like a top 10 left guard, but I think he'll have improvement. I have him going from 5 to 3 sacks. I think he improves just a tiny bit. He's not a player who has a high ceiling. People, I think, also got to remember that. Jackson was a player who was always a high floor, low ceiling player. Oh, you got top 10 here. Top 10. 1 Colts, 2 Bucks, 3 Saints, 4 Browns, 5 Lions, 6 Chiefs, 7 Buffalo, 8 Chargers, 9 Washington football team, 10 Niners maybe. Ooh. All right. Yeah. We're all curious to know. Doc, we got to know what's your what did they say? What's your own analysis, sir? Ooh, let's go Lions. That's why I say 7 to 9 wins. If we win 4 games out of the week, we should easily have 6. We should have 6 after Thanksgiving. Defense should gel. Hoping so. What about you? I think so too. There's some games that I think absolutely worry me. I knew you meant, by the way, go Lions. I'm very worried about Baltimore, and I'm very worried about Detroit. Well, I definitely think we can beat Detroit. I believe Don Burr's person in particular that we will sweep them, even at least have one game won without Rodgers. But I'm very worried on what Green Bay and Baltimore can do to us, and Minnesota. I think we could honestly start out the year kind of rough. But I'll definitely be a bit concerned about that. But I think we can do that. If anything, Jackson should improve. I agree. Personally, I think I had him ranked. I gave him an 8-9 record in my prediction, but I do think we could go to 7. And my big thing is the game I'm very conflicted on the most among our schedule is the Baltimore Ravens. I agree. We could do it. I have Minnesota, yes, as the number 1 in our division. My biggest thing is my biggest thing with the Packers is they barely have actually kind of been good in our division. They kind of beat up on a dysfunctional Lions team and Bears team. That's a guaranteed 6 wins for your team. And they had 13 wins last season. And they beat up on a regressed and injured Vikings team. That's at least 1 extra win for you. I think an improved Vikings, Lions, and Bears teams will actually do a lot better of a job of containing that team, especially because it's not looking like Aaron Rodgers will play. I also just think people got to remember that the Packers barely beat Matt Patricia. And now we got a much better coaching staff with much better teams. And now you got yourself a quarterback who, even if he does play, doesn't want to be here. I don't think it's going to help. And I think their defense is going to regress. Their pass rush actually regressed last year with, I believe it was Preston Smith struggling more and only had 4 sacks. One of the Smith brothers. Trench plays a lot. Yes, that's true. So Dr. Detroit's ranking is this in order, by the way? I assume it's going to be in order. 1 is Colts, 2 is Bucks, 3 is Browns, 4 is Saints, 5 is Chiefs, 6 is Chargers, 7 is Buffalo, and 7 is Lions. Yeah. You have them in between Chargers and Buff. So it's going to be 1 Colts, 2 Bucks, 3 Browns, 4 Saints, 5 Chiefs, 6 Chargers, 7 Lions, and then 8 Buffalo. Okay. I can respect that. I would love the 7 Franco line, so I'm down for that. Oh, you think it's... I actually agree. I think we could honestly go from one of the... Not from necessarily worst to first, like San Francisco, but worst to good. Because now we got Brockers, who had 5 sacks last year, and I believe it was 10 or 17 quarterback pressures, which isn't much of a big thing, except he can eat up double teams. You got Lee McNeil, who said he was double teamed every single play, and honestly, he really was in the tape I've watched on him. Levi Onwuzurike, who has a great burst, great athleticism, great versatility. You got Trey Flowers and Romeo being outside linebackers, and you got Junior Agora. If you've already watched my video on why I think they're going to surprise you, I got some. Those are some crazy stats that they got that is just going to surprise everyone. For me, Chiefs, Chargers, and Buffalo and Detroit are all up for grabs. I could totally see that, especially the Chiefs' right side does have some concerns for me. So the Chiefs and the Lions, in my opinion, have very similar lines for that spot. Yeah, true. Yes, it's the Vikings. That's the killer. Green Bay gets hype. Bears slide, though, but Minnesota has our hashtag. But at the end of the day, their D-line. But then their line is in your top 10. Yeah. So I want to actually go to Minnesota and why I think they'll be good. First off, I know people don't really like him among the Lions community, but Christian Darrisaw, I think, was a great pick. He has great size and great power, and I think he'll develop fine. Chasserat was a great linebacker addition. They protected their quarterback with 2 O-line picks and then selecting Wyatt Davis, who I think is really honestly almost a just as good, if not better, version of Jonah Jackson. I think Patrick Jones can be a solid pass rusher as well, and kind of was a steal. I think also people got to remember that they kind of weren't as good last year because of injuries. I do think that there is one thing that does concern me, though. Daniel Hunter's holdout. I don't know how long that's going to last, but it could last. It does have its concerns. The Vikings, they had some inconsistencies that I think will be fleshed out. They have an experienced head coach in Mike Zimmer, and their secondary should improve with another developmental year from Cameron Dantzler. They have an insane linebacker core, even with the loss of Eric Wilson. They still have Eric Kendricks, and they still have Anthony Barr. They still have Chess Rat, and they also have a player who I think could be underrated in Troy Dye, Cameron Dantzler, and they added Patrick Peterson, who's going to be an improvement. And they still have Mackenzie Alexander, who's one of the better slot corners in football. They still have Harrison Smith and Xavier Woods. They still have Michael Pierce and Delvin Tomlinson. We'll see what happens with Daniel Hunter. But there's also the prospects of Patrick Jones, who I think can be a great player. And they still have James Lynch, who I think is a solid pass rusher. Yeah. And that's the thing. They addressed that. They traded for Michael Brockers. They went ahead and added Lee McNeil. They went ahead and added Levi O. I think they addressed it well enough to say that you couldn't just really get much more. And I think they've honestly kind of addressed just the pass rush in general by moving Trey and Romeo off the outside linebacker and then moving Brockers and Levi and having Lee McNeil playing nose tackle. I think it's a much better D-line. I'm down for that, honestly. I'm very down for that, Dr. Detroit. I feel like the Vikings got weaker. I don't think so. I disagree with you right there, One Pride. I think Darisaw is going to be better than Riley Reef. I think you got another developmental year for Metro Cleveland. You're going to start using your more receiver-like year from Irv Smith. People, I think, also forget that Justin Jefferson is just a rookie. Now he's got a whole other year under his belt and can improve his route tree. You got Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen. Kirk Cousins probably knows his job's in trouble with Kellen Mond. I don't know. I don't really see how they regressed. I feel like at best they just slightly got better. You think when you sign a safety in free agency or trade? I have no idea. I would like Kenny Vaccaro. I think signing a safety that can play good but not expensive would be great. I don't want to trade for anyone right now. I want to keep our draft picks. That's true. We'll see what happens. How do I assume you mean rank. I'm going to go, number one is going to be, let's see, where do I have my list here? Where do I have it? I actually had that question. It's number one's Kirk Cousins. Number two is Jared Goff. Number three is I have Jordan Love, and 4 Andy Dalton. I at least had some liking towards Jordan Love in the draft process, and I think developing under Aaron should help. Andy Dalton was actually statistically worse than Mitch Trubisky last year, despite having in my opinion, better talented team than Trubisky. So I think that. I think Goff can become better than Cousins, but Cousins right now I think is much more secured number one in our division. And I also just think Cousins has the more impressive weapons that will lead to better statistics for him. Maybe. Yeah, free agency would be the only way I'm wanting a safety. Yeah, thank you, good sir. But if you get another defensive end, defensive tackle, then you got a top 10 defensive line. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know. You got to remember that Levi Onwuzurike is a rookie. I think he gets 6 sacks because he's a rookie that mostly played nose tackle in Washington. So while he definitely is the best fit for 3 tech, which he did play some 3 tech, he's going to be kind of a rookie in the NFL. Positions kind of change in the NFL, just like Jeffrey Okuda said. I think people got to make sure we don't overhype our talent and our team. And there's not really anyone I think that we could get that would really do that to me. Well, no, not me. Oh. I would like Ronnie Harrison from Cleveland, if released. That would not be a bad addition. He had some good stuff. I did not know he was even on the potential being released. Well, Charles Harris balls out. Maybe these are the best defensive tackles he's ever played with. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, he has the potential. He was a first-round draft pick. but I would be very, very surprised if Charles Harris does ball out. I mean, I guess it kind of happened to Romeo, but Charles Harris, I think his best season, he had 3 sacks, I believe. I think at best you get yourself a good situational pass rusher from Charles Harris, but yeah, this past season at Atlanta was his best year of 3 sacks. I don't think he'll explode. I think at most he gets 5. Is it? I've actually been kind of looking at next year's draft. I don't know, honestly. I think the defensive tackle class is impressive, but I don't really think there's a defensive tackle I want to add. We already added Levi O, and we already have 3 guys who do great at everything. Levi Onwuzurike for being versatile, Aleem for run defense and being a good nose tackle, and John Hennessy for being a good run stuffer. And heck, we even got Hand to be an extra replacement for Levi O. I don't know. Yeah, one Rogers. Well, we're not counting Rogers. It's the assumption that Rogers is not playing, but I like that you ranked Goff ahead of Cousins. I do like that. Justin Fields is not going to be playing, assumedly for now. Andy Dalton has been assumed the Bears' job for now. The Bears promised him he would start week 1. They have also announced that Dalton is their starter. So for now, I'm just ranking Dalton as the worst. I do think Justin Fields plays at some point. I don't know when. Do you think an undrafted free agent receiver makes our team? And if so, which one? I believe I had John Adams Jr. make the team in my predictions, but that was during the time when he beat Amani O, and I hadn't heard anything. But if I had to make a guess, excuse me, I'm about. Oh, I thought I was about to sneeze. Oh, yep. That's me. I knew that, guys. I would say Javon McKinley. McKinley or Surratt. And the reason I say Surratt is not because of anything he's done in camp or OTAs, but they seemed like they were really, really high on Surratt in the draft day room. I think it was the day 3. And I just think that's kind of what it would be. Is Surratt would make it, or McKinley, not just because McKinley I think is also super explosive, and right or wrong kind of also right or wrong. Does anyone I always forget. The fan of the year guy kind of made me invest into McKinley a bit. That is impressive. I like the boldness, Dr. Detroit. I thought you were a Goff hater, Dr. Detroit. Huh? I don't know. Are you an even more Cousins hater? I'm impressed by that. 3 sacks isn't that impressive, man. I mean, I don't know. It's somewhat impressive. I believe he also had 17 or 18 quarterback pressure, so he has potential. I do think people got to acknowledge just when it comes to Charles Harris. Look at Romeo Okwara during his time. He had the 1 sack in New York and then 0. Then the Lions bring him in, he gets 7.5. And then he had 1.5 and then he had 10. So there's potential for Charles Harris to do something, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen, Omar. I'd be very surprised. They're both very similar players that we have. And I think the receiver core, I think the 4 guaranteed receivers are Tyra Williams, Perriman, Almenraw, Cephas, and then after that, there's competition, but Victor Bolden has been outshining both those guys, so I think he makes the team, and especially due to the fact he's also a good return man. So I really don't know what to do at that spot there. I want to replace Brockers at some point, not right now. Maybe in the next draft, but my biggest thing is we need to make sure that we don't go so far into the trenches. We still need to have some stuff. I'd rather invest into a receiver next year, at least one, because I do think Cephas and Almenraw will provide themselves to be good, but I do think we need a true number 1 in order to truly help Goff. I want to make sure that we do not fail Goff like Los Angeles did. Exactly. That's very true. That's true. Yes, but I can't count a guy who's not going to be starting. Is my biggest thing. It's why I didn't count Rodgers. Unless I know this player is going to start immediately, or when I know he's going, if he even is, then I would count him. But Fields is apparently not starting, and they're planning to try and make sure they don't overwork him. Holmes goes BPA, and this draft shows. Oh yeah, best player available. Very true. Doc, that's savage. Oof. Likes up. Oh, good job. Good job. Thank you, sir. Also, welcome to the den. I don't know if you've ever said anything. Wow, I got okay. Well, first off, I'm going to keep going with questions, but I want to thank you guys for coming to this live and stream and everything. Like, I'm not ending it or anything, but 20 viewers isn't actually my I guess record amount of viewers. So I'm just very grateful for that. This is honestly I'm being a kind of like talking about Lions and just kind of talking about YouTube and on. It's just honestly been a big dream of mine. So I really want to thank you for that, guys. Like it's honestly just a really big accomplishment, and I love you guys for it. So yeah, excuse me, I got a bit emotional. Got a little nose. Sorry. At least he has 2 Pro Bowls. Very true. Very true. I'm kind of man golf, not really a needle breaker. No. Watch my golf. If you watch the golfism video, and if you watch Jared Goff versus Matthew Stafford, and you talk to this man who just came to the den, you will convert to Jared Goffism, my good sir. You will believe in golf. I'm telling you, it's very possible. Not a hater, just don't like his decision on the balls at times. Yes, Cousins is not the real thing to me. His weapons is what he has to me, anyways. Fair enough, fair enough. His numbers are definitely different in Washington than compared to Minnesota. But I do understand that. And I do think Goff is going to be good. I think he'll I could see it. I can honestly see it. My biggest thing is just Minnesota has the weapons that Goff does not. I think Justin Jefferson and Thielen together are just better than our entire team, other than maybe Hawkinson. But I don't think that's enough. Yeah, not buying it of Charles Harris. I'm not either. I'm just saying, don't just say he's not going to be a nothing burger. Charles Harris, I don't know. I'm not huge on him. Yeah, okay. That's very true. Say next year, yeah. Do you think Bolden makes a team, or is he this year's camp darling? It depends. We actually got a preseason. If it was like last year, I know he would make the team if he continued. But I think the big thing that makes him actually make the team is not so fact that he'll be the starter, but because I think the fact is he has return potential. He had, I believe, 5 total special team scores in college, and he even had a kick return score in San Francisco. So he's got that special team thing. So we need to kind of replace Jamal Agnew. I think that's right now he's looking like the best option. We'll see what happens with Khalif Raymond. I think that's his main competition. Oh, I'd be so mad, dude. That would be such a bad move. Unless we got like a quarterback or something to like develop under, I'd be so mad if we got Dalton and then didn't even draft a quarterback. That'd just be awful. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Thank you, man. I like that you like my content, man. It's just I don't know. It's just good, man. It's honestly just a blessing to have you guys on here and actually liking my stuff. I never would have believed it a year ago. So big blessing. Yes, yes. I'm just gonna give you claps. That's all I have to say, man. Thanks, man. I'm grateful for golf, having golf and not Dalton. Very true. Good job looking at the positive side of things. Actually, Troy. I just think we haven't seen good coaching in so long, and we're going to be shocked when we actually do. Very fair. Very, very fair. I think we got it. I think we potentially got it this time, though. I wouldn't mind. I don't know if Devontae would leave Green Bay. It depends on how Jordan Love does and if Aaron Rodgers stays. So we could actually continue to see Aaron Rodgers play. So that could leave Adams here. But if we have the cap and we want to bring Devontae Adams, go do it, man. That'd be great. Calvin Ridley, yeah, I wouldn't mind Calvin Ridley. He's got the speed. He brings something that a lot of our receivers don't. But I kind of want like that true number one. That like I want the big physical can do everything number one. Like I would love a Justin Ross next year. I want a guy who has size, speed, and everything. I want a Kenny Galladay like number one kind of guy that but is fast. He has shown it time and time again when he's protected. Yep. But if Goff Trubisky, absolutely, yeah. Let's talk lines. Yeah, man. You're always welcome, man. Goff looks like he was overthinking everything and playing and scared the last couple of seasons. Goff looked like a franchise quarterback in 2017 and 2018. That's the thing. Is it definitely is his decision making. He does. The one thing I will say, sometimes he does struggle to read defenses, but I think he can do it. My biggest thing is also he struggles under pressure, but that's what a lot of pocket quarterbacks do. Thanks to this good man here, it has been shown that quarterbacks 26 or younger kind of tend to struggle with decision making when under pressure. And I think now that he's going to get older, he's going to only get better and better and better. Goff's stats are as good or close to or equal to Brady, Manning, Breeze, and Stafford in his first 5 seasons, and he didn't even play his full season his first year. So, and he even had 2 struggling years. I think that's just how impressive he was in 2017, 2018 to match those type of guys' numbers. Who's Mr. Robot? I gotta look this one up. Mr. Robot. I can kind of see it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do I look like this Mr. Robot guy? I've never seen who this is. Nope. All the Lions pros are here. Fair enough. Fair enough. Domby, Steve-O. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, it's great. Like it's kind of fun because it's just we got a bunch of players that people I'm used to seeing. Uh, I I saw you when on my older account, Spencer Waddell, and I've seen Steve-O. Honestly, all we're missing, Doctor Detroit, is Hungry Panda Studios. I think fun with all the OGs that I've seen when before I became a YouTuber. Then we'd see some people. Yep. Justin Ross? I haven't heard yet. I didn't hear yet drops. Justin Ross is the player who had a bunch of injuries. I don't think he had all the drops. Giving 49ers fans a bit. I wouldn't mind it. You keep destroying them. Oof. 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 Stafford actually kind of did, especially in his beginning NFL career. I think people forget that Stafford wasn't exactly amazing his first couple of years. In terms of, I think half of it was gunslinger. His first season, he had 20 interceptions. Goff never had 20 interceptions. He had 16, 17, and 19. I'm not really counting his 2010 season because he only played 3 games, but he had 20, 16, 17, 19, and then 12. He improved on his 5th season, and he would have been 27 years old by that time. So, I don't block people. I mean, it's fine to block people, bro, if they annoy you. But I don't see how you could be annoyed by the legends here. I Mr. Robot. Is that a movie? Or is that a movie or a show? Because I'll watch it for you guys. Goff was the worst rated QB when using pre-snap motions. The reason his decision making such, I'm assuming, is inconsistent. Wait, the reason his decision making such sometimes is because he can't read a defense. I don't know. I don't. I'm not gonna go into that. I don't think that's how it goes, sir. But once again, I ask you, go talk to Ram's house in the Discord. He understands the pre-snap motions better than I do. I'm kind of more new to some advanced stats like that. I was more of a advanced stats / base stats, so I'm trying to learn those kind of other things such as play organizations. So that's why I don't do film all that much. I kind of show you guys a couple good plays, but I don't try to do like Jackson Kruger's type of things because I don't perfectly understand the role, for example, of Mike linebacker perfectly yet. I'm trying to learn that, but I don't know. I'd still go talk to the pastor of Gothism for that one. Do I have baby hands? Right. Oh, yeah, funky. Dang, Don, you bullying Niners. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I don't know. They tried to bully him, so he just told him Detroit versus every dang buddy. Oh yeah, apparently. Okay, yeah, Rams house is already out. We were shutting you down, I guess. Don't don't get too heated, guys. Um. Okay. The whole reason you use motions to read a defense. The entire Rams house got himself an explanation here. The entire point of reset motion is to create a mismatch that obviously doesn't work. That didn't work at all, which is when failure McVay knock off. I kid. How upset would you be if we got Trubisky? That would be the best move. I actually don't care. I think Goff would be a solid backup to Jared Goff. I think there's some similarities that wouldn't be just completely awful. Mitch Trubisky had his moments in Chicago of looking good, particularly against us. So he's it's not like he's like complete garbage. Like Dalton was last year. It's not like he was Nathan Peterman. So he'd be a solid backup, I think. I'm excited to see if Goff plays better or worse now that he has something to prove. I think he'll come through like he did his second season. I think I agree. I think he will. He's got the O-line, he's got the run game, and he's got the targets. So I'm very, very excited to see what he can do. Oop, I lost my comment. Oop. Nope, there. Nope. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. There it is. I like it, Don. I think we have a good shot at being the 49ers. They are overrated. Yep, TV show. Does anyone know what it's rated? I can't watch ours. A lot of Rams fans are almost as dumb as Bears fans. Man, dude, I wouldn't go against them. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go against Rams house. He's destroyed me in debates every single time. That guy is a fantastic fan, and he knows his stuff. I really do suggest you go and talk to him in the actual like Discord, or even I mean you're fine at debating him on here, but I wouldn't say that. No one's as dumb as Bears fans. Lions fans pre-motion snap. Yeah, and it's true. Yeah. In what Discord? Luke G's Discord. That's the Discord to go to. Luke G has a little Discord in there that those two can just absolutely. That man just like he converted me to Jared Goffism, man. I joke around about it, but that I used to be a really big Goff hater. I used to be just honestly almost as bad as one funky Lions fan. I did not like Goff. I saw him as a means to an end. I wanted Sam Howell next year. I only wanted to keep Goff this year just in case he was actually pretty good. But like Rams house just knows his stuff. I got an oof. My work is done. I'm happy for you. I'm glad your work was done. A Goff slap. Okay, Funky Lions fan, you don't have to. Insults don't win arguments. You gotta show him why he's wrong. So, for example, I think a better argument would be to use, okay, so how is it exactly McVay's fault? For example, why did every single other player get better under McVay? Would be a better argument or something. Then you could say, then why did Robert Woods have success? Why is it that Goff struggled? Which Rams house would probably have something that would completely destroy him. Agree, Steve-O. Oof. Oof. And okay, so the big thing is Rams house does have a little bit of a point. I don't think necessarily Rams house he doesn't actually see film. I think it's a difference of understanding. For example, he didn't understand what preset motions snaps were. It's a lot like how I what was it? Well, it's like how I didn't know the difference between like pressures for organizational sites, like for example, Pro Football Reference and PFF. It's just kind of different. Have you seen Joey? I know he's been working. Huh? Who's Joey? Huh? Is this some kind of inside joke that I don't understand? All right. Mr. Robot is actors Rami Malek, who played Freddie Mercury and was nominated for Academy Award. That's a heck of an actor, then. Okay. Okay, I bully Bengals fan. There's always someone we bully. I personally bully Bears fans because they act like they are hot stuff when they've had like the 2 good years, and also the Mike Dick that year. But really, in the last decade, he really didn't. Though good years he did in college too. Fair enough, bro. I'm Miss with Rams fan. Do you mean yeah, mess? Never mind, mess with Rams. When Goff lost his deep threat on the Rams production drive, the defense has just stacked the box. That is a very true point. The Rams lost Brandon Cooks, and the man, oh man, did that production just go. It, that's okay. But the big thing I have to say here is he could potentially be better than Stafford. Stafford, I love to death, and I truly think is a good quarterback. But his Goff's first 5 seasons were better than Stafford's, and he didn't play with a number one receiver like Stafford did with Calvin. Well, I definitely agree he had some better lines. He still had an arguably less throwing talent too. Um, I gotta look at that postseason thing you said. I gotta make sure that's correct before I make a statement on that. Okay. Okay, your statement's correct. I don't really. The big thing is there's also a difference between talent and production, Funky Lions fan. For example, Aaron Rodgers is more talented than Tom Brady. But Tom Brady has, oh my gosh, an infinite amount of Super Bowls now, right? It's just there's quarterbacks that have different amount of things. Stafford is an extremely talented quarterback. I would say he's actually more talented than most quarterbacks. But there's a difference between like having better decision making and also getting things done. I did too. Okay, good man, good man. Okay. We shouldn't wait till the season before we judge how Goff is going to play for the Lions. A lot of times, change of scenery is what a player needs. I agree, but gladly takes to a good man. So actually, I want to continue the Steve O's point here. Actually, I decided that's very true. It happened for Ryan Tannehill. It even happened for Drew Brees. People forget that Drew Brees wasn't actually really that good in San Diego. It just sometimes takes time to go to another team and play extremely well. And sometimes even if you're already a good quarterback, a new change of scenery just explodes with another team. Peyton Manning is an example of this. And even Tom Brady, when he left New England that final year, his statistical production exploded. It's definitely very possible that going to another team can lead to another win. And, and yeah, but gladly takes two of them too. Yeah. You can say whether you want you can say whatever you want, but the proof is in the pudding. Your explanation of why Goff struggled does not line up with the reality or what the Rams tried to do. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go on the Rams' house's defense on this one, Funky Lions man. Jared Goff was screwed over by Sean McVay and terrible O-line play. For one, in the playoff series that you mentioned, even in 2017 and 2018, it was quite obvious that the team was heavily relying on it's not Trey Flower, on Todd Gurley. At that time, he was their guy, and they were just going to continue the run. Why not? CJ Anderson himself was even exploding. And Jared Goff even has good games. He had that good game in 2018, I believe, versus New Orleans. New Orleans, he had 297 yards and one passing touchdown. He played good in that game. It's not just a statistical thing. Sometimes you have to watch the film. The guy had some pretty incredible throws versus New Orleans. In terms of the reasons I also say that you should not just base off the stats of Goff is, once again, McVay filled them. I suggest you really watch the thread I gave you guys on the Goffism video. Matt Waldron Twitter thread is exact example. They had preset plays that were easy to follow. people joke around. I joke around that I can see every single play. I literally watched the Ravens game with my dad, and I was like, okay, this is what play's happening there, and that play's happening there. And what happened is I would be right. But the same thing happened for Goff and the Rams. It was obvious of what was happening almost every single play. Their preset motions were awful. The thing is, we complain about Darrell Bevel not using TJ Hawkinson. Sean McVay refused to use Tyler Higbee, and I believe Tyler Higbee had like the best 5-game stretch by a single tight end in NFL history. McVay does not use his players. Their O-line regressed. Do not just look at the fact that they were the third-ranked O-line last year. That's largely because their run blocking was elite. Their pass blocking was awful after the Miami game. They were great to start out with, but Goff played well to begin the year. So, Funky Lions fan, I actually want to ask you this question. Why is it that Goff had a good beginning of the year up until the Miami game? If you go to 2020, up until the Miami game, why is it that Goff only had one bad game and he had good stats? What happened? Brees was good last year at the Chargers. Brees was good last year at the Chargers. Yes, he was pretty solid, but he didn't get good till his really two final season. If we go to Drew Brees' actual stats in there, it was not much different than Goff's. It was 2005, 24 touchdowns and 15 picks, and then he had 27 touchdowns and 7 picks. Neither of these seasons were that much better than Goff's. Goff had a 28 touchdown, 7 interception season, and then he had 32 touchdown and I think it was 10 or 12 interception seasons. In 2004, Brees barely even made the 3,000-yard mark. And he had only 3,576 yards, so he had less impressive years. He honestly was kind of a pick machine to begin his year. He had 17 in 2002. He had 17 touchdowns and 16 interceptions. 2003, he had 11 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. So it's very common for pocket quarterbacks to struggle. Brees actually played with the Chargers to begin his career. That's a very fact that some youngins do not know. Exactly. That is very true. They'll look no further than the Stafford era, or even the Super Bowl for that matter. When Patrick Mahomes was playing fantastic, his own line was crumbling and his receivers dropped footballs. When people started to figure out Goff turned into a turnover machine. That's on McVay then. Yes. McVay refuses to draft O-linemen. This was shown last year. I'm worried that he's going to screw over Stafford this next season. But he refused to adjust. Watch Goff was not the problem in LA, and watch the thread, Matt Roljan's thread on Jared Goff in the 2019 49ers game. You gotta have stats to prove that. You gotta say what happened. If he starts to win with the coach, if the coach is putting his players in a position to succeed and the players fail, then it's on the player. I agree. And Goff Sean McVay did not do that. Goff never once got a number 1 receiver. Not once. He had some good talent in Robert Woods, but people got to remember that Robert Woods was a bust in Buffalo. Cooper Kupp was considered to be a reach in the 3rd round. He refused to use Tyler Higbee. He never once had a number 1 receiver. Exactly. They were both 6th ranked, and they were pretty dang good. How many fumbles did senior small hands have? Let me see real quick. Jared, I know that's one of his bigger problems, actually. It's very fixable. Hold up. Do. If my computer would work for me. Do. Last season, Jared Goff had 5 fumbles by holding the football as a passer and 2 as a runner. So in total, he had 8 fumbles. Matthew Stafford himself also struggled with fumbles early in his career. He had 4 fumbles in his 2009 season. By only playing in 10 games, he probably would have had even more had he played a full season. He even had a 6 fumble season in 2014 and a 9 fumble season in 2017. It's very possible for him to get that. Fumbles are something that can be very... I'm trying to find the fumbles that Goff and Stafford had. So technically, he's going off normal fumbles. technically, Goff only lost 3 fumbles as in, let's see. As a runner, he only lost 3 fumbles as a rusher for Goff. And I believe he only lost 2 as a passer this year. Let me go. Jared Goff stats NFL.com. My biggest thing is you got to realize that fumbles are actually a pretty common occurrence as a young quarterback. Okay. So in total, Goff lost 5 fumbles the last 2 years. Doesn't Goff have the same hand size as Trey Lance? I don't know. I didn't scout Trey Lance heavily enough. Oh, yep, it says 4. Sorry, I was looking at the bottom here. I was looking at like ESPN. Yeah, he had 4 lost. Wow, it's not many fumbles lost. My biggest thing, watch the dang film. You see his throws INTs with the safety standing on the hash. That's not on the QB. That's on the QB not being able to read a defense. I watched film. I saw preset plays. Watch the Deion Jones interception. That was clearly a preset play. It's not. There's a lot of plays with Goff that is clearly on McVay. And once again, it's like I've been saying, it's because the O-line struggles. And Goff, is like most pocket quarterbacks before the age of 26, struggle when under pressure. They make dumb decisions. Yes, he does win Pride 40. I think Goff's family problems are due to his hand size. Maybe. Goff has 4 fumbles lost in 2020. Thank you. Ooh, maybe. We'll see what happens. Stafford. Even if that man could literally be sliced in half and he'd still play, I'm not worried about Stafford. Yes, same hand size. Lions, one funky Lions fan. McVay is a control freak. One of his main criticisms from his former players and NFL people, McVay pre-decides who the ball's going to. Like it's Matt. I did not know that. Who said that? Was that Todd Gurley? Who said that one? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My biggest thing that you guys have to look at is pocket quarterbacks struggle. Quarterbacks have a bad season or two. Drew Brees had a bad season or two. The quarterbacks just tend to not do good. If it was up to people who honestly were kind of like funky Lions fans, Peyton Manning would not have started. Peyton Manning would have been cut and probably used as a backup. You want to know my argument for that is? 28 touchdowns, 1998, 15, and 23, and 19. I accidentally went to Discord when I tried to cancel it. There we go. I'm out of Discord. Sorry, I just had to ask why the way you see from fumbles. I don't know. I just like saying fumbles like that or fumbles. I think it's also maybe just how I say it here. I don't know. Part of being where I live. I believe the proper pronunciation, like the Midwest or New York, would be like fumbles or something. Where I live, it's kind of like fumbles, or so. It should be fumbles is probably a better. A few people have mentioned it's the way he says it makes it easy on the quarterback. He sets them up with easy plays on the same wavelength. If a defense sees what you're doing, you're toast. Very true. Very true. Okay, here's the big thing that it comes down to. No one knows everything ever done, and not even I know everything. I didn't know much about Goff before I was a big time hater on Goff. So I'm actually gonna send you guys the Matt Waldron live stream and Matt Waldron thread once again, and I suggest you guys watch this sometime, especially you Funky Lions fan. A couple of videos I think are kind of helpful in understanding why golf was not the problem in LA. Golf was not the problem. The problem. There we go. There we go. And even Aaron Rodgers. And this is true. That's why I don't say there's a guaranteed yes, this is what's going to happen. People gotta remember that we don't know. Anthony Lynn has never worked with Jared Goff before. Campbell's a rookie head coach. But my biggest thing is I actually think the one thing that I do think we're going to kind of get guaranteed from here is Anthony Lynn cuts down his quarterback's interceptions. Tyrod Taylor, name how good he's been since he left Anthony Lynn. Phillip Rivers, his picks went down. It's just kind of something he do. I mean, he had the one season where he threw like 20, I believe. Yeah, he had the 120 year. But when Anthony Lynn comes in 2017, he went from 21 to 10 to 12, and then he had 11. He really massively cut down his interception numbers. I just think Lynn knows how to take down the turnover numbers. He can be good. Oh, there's mine. We don't know. That's the whole point. To just say it's impossible, though, and say he absolutely was terrible in LA and it'll just be bad is just not. Agreed. Watch the thread. It's very important. It's what got me. It was one of the biggest chances that made me kind of say Goff wasn't good. Ooh, that. Nah, he. Where I currently have him at, if he continues to play like how he has in the last 2 years at LA, he's at least 21st or 20th. He's not that bad. Yeah. I didn't actually mean to go on Discord, but that was an accident. But yeah, I go on the Luke G's Discord, especially when I'm bored, because I can finish work quite quickly. You see the difference between the two way QB please and this conversation again. I absolutely love you for that one Funky Lions fan. I love it when people do that. Because at the end of the day, we can all come back and be like, well, it looks like X was right, right? Who was right? I agree 100%. I don't want to buy anyone to buy into Jared Goff. I want to be able to give Goff a chance. Exactly. I even actually have a video on what Jared Goff doesn't pan out. I mean, I don't think he's 100% going to have success, but I think he can. I think he most likely will. I think there's some stuff that I think he can do, and I like what he does. Yeah. I'll be happy the Lions finally run the ball and stop the run this year. I think we all would be. We are just. I think everyone is just absolutely excited to see what the Lions do. I think we're finally getting a run game. DeAndre Swift was amazing last year, and if he's anything like last year, he's going to be fantastic. Maybe with a little bit of more power, he can do great. Jamal Williams, 4 yards per carry. I even think Jamar Jefferson's fairly solid. I don't know what he's going to do, but where do you rank Goff? What are you ranking Goff? Where are you ranking Goff? Where I think he'll be next season? I think he'll be the 12th ranked quarterback. I think that's what he's going to be. I'm thinking he gets 29-ish passing touchdowns to 10 to 11 or 10 to 9 to 10 range in interceptions. And we get 7-8 wins. Hey, anytime, John. It's a precursor to Wednesday, which you and Rams House are going to have to tell me what time you guys want to do that, and I'll have to tell you what time that's for me because I also have church activities on Wednesday. So I have a church activity at 7, so I probably will not be able to go on anytime after 7, or I'm going to need time to also get ready to go. So I don't even time what Goff is going to do. I think there's a lot of evidence that shows that McVay held him back. I agree. I don't have any choice but to give him chances here, and I don't have him at 31. But it's the fact I've watched him at least 30 Rams games. I'm not impressed with him. All right, different people have different films. That's why there's different scouts. Some people said Jeffrey Okuda was the next gen Ramsey. Some people there's not, such as Luke G. If Cox works out, I think we can all agree that Stafford trade was one of the biggest fleecings in NFL history. I 100% agree. You're not giving him a chance. You've already written him off. Still, you guys debate that in the chat. Rams house. There was a lot of Rams coach. There's a lot of Rams coaches leaving you guys. Do you believe that's on McVay? And also, I believe in getting rid of Cromer, but like an ego move. I guess Rams house can answer that one first than I do. Especially Aubrey Pleasant. I mean, Aubrey Pleasant was like one of the better secondary coaches. I don't see why you would ever want to leave. I would consider here's my borderline for here, according to my notes. He has to have a good touchdown pick ratio, or at least a solid one. I think like 25 to 11 or 10 touchdowns would have to be my thing there. I don't think he'd have to play maybe 2017, but not 18. I don't think he has to play at 18 level more to be considered a success. I don't know who Cromer is. Can he come in as an assistant O-line coach? Because I just read your other things. Cromer is a top-tier O-line coach. He wonders of how little talent we have. Very true. Very true. Oh, yeah, he's the guy who was your O-line coach for the 2017-2018 years. Maybe we can bring him in and steal him. He'll be our assistant O-line coach, I think, Friley. Then our O-line will be so good it'll break the ranking boards. All right, so I think I'm going to end this at the 140-minute mark. So, yeah. So if you guys have questions and stuff you want to talk about, go ahead. But yeah, so I don't know. There's just some stuff. I think you guys gotta realize some things. Sometimes it's just scenery. And sometimes chemistry. It was very obvious that Jared Goff and McVay just did not get along. I love how you thought. You got me there, buddy. My big thing is just sometimes scenery. Sometimes you're at a perfect job. Maybe both of you are at fault. Maybe it just sometimes won't work out. Sometimes it's just like relationships. Sometimes it's just they cannot handle it and it's just gone. So oh dang. That feels pretty Patricia-ish. Yes, it is. So DSA, who's DS? Do you mean Rams House and John Kapler? Who's DSA? There's the only people I've gotten a live worked out with is that dude live, John Kapler, and Rams House. I gotta look up who this DSA person is. Do you want to do a collab with me or something? DSA Lions. Oh, the DSA like round table. Okay, I'm sorry. Lucci. Oh, Lucci. Oh, I don't know. Luke said he wanted me back in the show sometime, but oh, Detroit points to the Lions. Oh, I don't know. I might. I don't know if I can get it going. I'd be down for that. I mean, if you guys want me to try to, if you guys want me to try to do go on to their show or bring them on here, yeah, I'll do my best and everything in my power to do that. Whatever my fans want me to do is totally what I'm going to do. Moop Gene is click. Yeah. Okay. Yes, roundtable. Okay. Yeah. So the roundtable is going to be on Wednesday. I haven't worked out an official time yet. We were just kind of saying anything past 3:30 Central Time. So anytime in between that and 7 should be when we are going. Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. I'll try to get that going. Don't worry, I'll talk to them tonight about that. You're a legend, man. I don't know how you guys got talking about okay. Yeah, man, thank you. Alright, well, does anyone want to talk about anything else? Because I think I honestly just about to end it. My computer just notified me I have low battery power, so where do live? I think we'll do it on my channel. Because Ram's house is a gaming. His new channel is more around gaming than football, so I don't really know if why he posts on there, but I don't know. I think we'll probably just do it on mine. I especially since John is new to SteamYard or not StreamYard. StreamYard. That's what it is. So that'd be my assumption. So it's Wednesday, sometime in between 3:30 Central Time and 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So I'll try to get things going, and yeah. All right. Well, that's all for me today, guys. Thank you for coming to the den. I really do appreciate you guys. You guys have been like an absolute blessing for my channel, and honestly, it's just been really heartwarming and helping me. Honestly, just feel great. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. One Pride.